Extreme Weather by Megan
and Grace.
In the sky, you might see these white puffy things called clouds. There are three main types of clouds: cirrus clouds, cumulus clouds, and stratus clouds. Cirrus clouds are wispy with fuzzy-looking edges, when cumulus clouds are rounded and fluffy on top and flat on the bottom. Stratus clouds are layered like a blanket but very thin and might make it drizzle. You might not have known that cirrus clouds fly at a higher altitude than most clouds, so they cover the sun. You might see sunny weather when you see cirrus clouds because the sun can go through them. Because they're really thin. Cumulus clouds are thick and they might bring rain. Like right here, it's looking gray. There are some things you might not have known about clouds.
The stages of the water cycle are precipitation, evaporation, condensation, and collection. Evaporation, the first step of the water cycle, is when a liquid turns into a gas. Condensation, the second step of the water cycle, is when the water vapor in the clouds cools down and becomes water again. Precipitation, the third step of the water cycle, is when the water falls from the sky in a form of rain, sleet, hail, or snow. Hail is basically mega sleet. You would never get hit by a hailstone. The last step is collection, where bodies of water that has fallen. I hope you've learned everything about the water cycle.
I've heard someone say, "Wow, it's humid today." Most people think that humidity is how hot it is, but really it's the amount of moisture in the air. You also may have heard about relative humidity, the ratio of partial pressure. It can help to predict the weather because if you want to predict the right weather, you need to find the humidity and the relative humidity, then you make a prediction. Okay, moving on. A dew point is the temperature below where the water vapor is at constant barometric pressure. You might need a barometer when you predict weather, so it is important to know what a dew point is. If it is hot outside, it is probably humid too. Humidity, here's an example right here. It's 89% humidity and 92 degrees. Humidity affects the weather because when it is hot, there's a lot of moisture in the air, and when it is cold, there's not as much moisture. There's definitely not as much moisture. I hope you've learned a thing or two about humidity. Thanks for watching.
An air mass is a large body of air that, at any one height, has a relatively steady temperature and moisture content throughout. Air masses typically cover areas ranging from hundreds of thousands to millions of square miles. A weather front is a boundary separating two masses of air of different densities. A warm front is a density discontinuity located at the leading edge of a homogeneous warm air mass and is typically located on the equator-facing edge of an isotherm gradient. A cold front is defined as the leading edge of a cooler mass of air, replacing the warmer mass of air, which lies within a fairly sharp surface trough of low pressure. My key right here shows that in blue, this is air mass 1, and then what's shown in red is air mass 2, and what's shown in green is the whole entire front. Thanks for watching!
You press the record button when you're done. For watching.
Bye!